we'll see. And then I should input, I never know which one is happening. Whatever, this is fine. Hermes, you can't hear me yet, can you? Sad. Okay. And then this. That is streaming. Let's make sure that this. There we go. And then we got that going on. I think what we should do is we have that. Let's do the external. Just in case. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Let me cue that real quick and see if I can hear it all. Curious that I can't hear that, although I am seeing it on the thing. Very strange. Okay. Well, let's see. This over here. And switch that into the external building. Check that. Let me just see. Is there a way to order this? Yeah, I do want to test. Let's see if that works. Okay, it kind of does. Kind of does, but it's not great. If I move that down a little bit, how about this for that sound? That kind of sounds better. A little bit. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, that works. So, what we got 4 minutes to go. Let's kill 4 minutes making sure that all the stuff is correct. I don't even have like a, I don't have a thing on my, I don't have any tabs, but I don't need tabs this week. I think at any rate. And then this is presumably still going. Yeah. Typing. That's interesting. Present. Oh, something's on fire. Very nice. Except that wasn't at all related to. What up, Kev? How we doing? Hermes, why are you trying to play Spotify? I definitely was not asking you to do that. Oh, you're trying. No, that's okay. You can chill. That's fine. Actually, can you do it on YouTube? That URL is yeah, okay, man. We got that was Hermes topic. You heard it. There we go. I'll hit my start event thing. You're super quiet to me. Are you like running around or doing something? Paco, what's up, buddy? Okay, let's do the ceremony of starting the thing. Call in. How we doing? I I have a new set of videos that I am gonna play for the intro. I don't think they're better than the old ones, actually. If I can, that is, yes, that's much better. Let's see. Yeah, we got you, Baco. Let's get you up here, absolutely. Colin, if you feel like yapping, you're welcome to come up, or if you feel like hanging out in the audience, it's also totally fine. Just shoot a request and I'll get you. Let's see. Yeah, we have Baco today, and then I think Slono's coming later. Okay, why is my screen share not working on this anymore? Okay, I might have to. Oh, do you? Hell yeah. Okay, well we might have a pretty solid little lineup then, I do believe. Okay. Okay, so video that works, but share my screen doesn't. Okay, let me see if I can leave without killing the event here. Okay, one sec. And then if do the thing. Do it good. Okay, can I share screen yet? Okay, Discord's not gonna let me share screen, but thankfully I don't need to do screen sharing this week. You're all good. What up, Michael? How we doing? Let's see. Okay, I gotta play intro here, and then I have to change it at just the right moment for that to work. There we go. It's all happening. You guys missed it, but there was a new little intro scene.
Is it the most consistent thing you've ever done? Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm good. You can hear
Yeah,
me, right?
we could definitely do me last because yeah, I'm building the flask app right now. Yeah, we'll see. Nemo gonna find itself, you know.
Yeah. So this is my, uh basically, it's like a long form content generator. So one thing that I found with models is, like, you can prompt it to write, like, a really long story or, like, if you're doing, like, a videos or something that's, like, an hour long, or basically any kind of, like, technical document that requires a lot of sort of connections between different concepts and ideas throughout the document. You can ask the model, it'll generate something that looks approximately, like, close to what you want, but ultimately doesn't actually, like, resolve any promises that, uh an initial clause makes versus the following clauses, as well as it will like lose the thread where it'll just drop something that was important at the beginning and just totally forget about it by the end of it. Yeah, so this is basically a system that formalizes that process into a graph representation of the document that you're working on, with contracts that are explicit about what they require, what the dependencies are, what obligations that have to be fulfilled, and then we'll use that to reason over the graph structure of the document, and then generate a final draft that is like a lot more coherent and um, like fulfills all those contract requirements. So it's pretty simple. This is just like a little walkthrough. If you ever forget how to use it, you just click through. This is all open right now to use. It's not open source yet. It will be. I just want to get a bit of data first. And then once that I get a bit of a data moat, then I can open source it. But for now, you can use it as a tool if you want to try it out. We do collect the data for training, so just know anything you put in there is going to be public. Yeah, don't assume privacy. If you do want, if you do want a private instance of it for your own uses or whatever, just message me and we can work something out. Um, but yeah, so basically, how it works is you have three different options. You can paste a seed, which is just a JSON object that has a graph representation of the document, but most people won't use that one unless if you know what it looks like. Uh, you could do a single prompt. So if you don't want to go through like a long-winded interview process, then you can just click the single prompt. Yeah. So right now it's just a text field. I should add an upload document option. I will. I do actually need to create an explicit data ingestion pipeline for this so that it can do research as well. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I do have the infrastructure in place to do that. I just haven't connected all the dots to it. So that's definitely something I can add to my production queue. But yeah, so single prompt, you just paste all the text that you want in there. You can put as much or as little as you like. And then there's the interview process. So, I don't have a good example. What's a good example of something that's long form? Um, yeah, so this is basically modeling out the development workflow that I have, where I usually do an interview with the model and I ask it to ask me questions until we both agree on what the project specs are and like what the overall goal of the project is. It'll ask you like 100 questions, so like only do this if you're okay committing to that, because otherwise it's not really that useful. Um, but yeah, so let's see here. This is the onboarding guide specifically for new contributors. so the whole point of this is like it outputs long form content, which is great, and you can use it for that, which is cool. But the whole point of this is more it's a graph reasoning system. It's the being able to I'll explain how I made this in the first place. Is I keep running into the same problem over and over and over, where problem's too big, can't get model to make the entire project, so have to break project down into smaller and smaller pieces. Those pieces all depend on each other. Keeping track of all those dependencies and making sure that they're all done correctly in the butt. So basically wound up making a graph anyway of it. And I realized that this same pattern was repeating across different domains and different models and architectures. And it was sort of like a universal, like, here's a problem, you need to turn this problem into a graph to be able to figure out how to decompose the problem into its component pieces, and then make sure that each leaf of the graph is executable by a single LLM. So one of the main underpinnings of this is that has to be a single LLM with context given has to be able to fulfill the contract of the node, and otherwise it has to be broken into smaller nodes, so that the primary primitive of it is literally a single LLM call. And then we just basically went up stacking those together in like you figure out your dependency graph and then stack them in, together, working in parallel where you can, to be able to have the output, or basically to execute the output. And so with the system, the reasoning engine behind the graph representation of the problem, I want to be transportable and work from across domains. So like if I want to implement a project, a coding project, then I can basically make a spec for it and do the same thing. Or if I'm making long form video, I can like take the components of the video with all the different video segments and like the narration and music and whatever, and put them all together so that it can coherently like put together things like long form video. So that's ultimately what the whole thing is for. So basically this, you can use it now. I'll put the link in the chat, I guess.
Yeah, we got you.
But
It's already there.
but yeah, so I'm trying to collect data so that I can make the translation layer very rich. So I am farming your data. It's basically the exchange that's going on here. But it's useful for making long form content if you want to make like something like a report or like a technical document, or if you wanted to make a short story or something that has like coherent characters with payoffs. And
I've been thinking about that, or I tried or I had an experiment that I did where it was like I tried to make like an auto D&D, kind of like the universe that we did all those way back when recently. That was like for the story nodes. There was a story graph, and it was like intro, climax, crescendo, and then resolution, kind of thing. I feel like yeah. And then my other use case for this is I have a bunch of like recordings that I need to upload, but I also kind of want to remix them into a like we're going to transform this and then augment it with LLMs a little bit to make it more interesting, or add some visual graphics or what have you to go deeper into some of the more technical topics. This seems like a great fit for that as well.
Yeah, so ultimately, like for tasks like that, I probably wouldn't use this one directly, or I would like ask it to make you a plan on how to do that.
Yeah.
But the whole point of it is to use this sort of structured decomposition of problems to be able to make a reasoning engine that's like more or less, it's just like a structured way for the LLMs to think about how to take apart a problem. That's like predefined for them, that works. Because when I work in this manner, basically what winds up happening is I wind up each leaf of the node I wind up turning into like a ticket, and then I'll have the agents implement each individual ticket. And so you can scale it along the lines of a project. So I can get like really quite large and complex problems done with an agent, like a team of agents that like run.
Yeah, totally.
With almost no problems in terms of like implementation and testing and making sure that it runs when it's done.
Nice.
So that logical framework is important, and I think deserves its place as like a base primitive to work with.
Yeah.
Sort of the thesis of the project.
Totally. Cool. Well, yeah, no, I think this looks super interesting. I'm quite keen for when you open source it and to see kind of what you get in terms of the data that you are collecting. Like, it sounds like an interesting data collection project too, just to like kind of get a landscape of what kinds of graph reasoning are useful to do. So I think that one's really cool.
So the data I think is it, like the reason why I'm going to open source it and like I don't care about people figuring out the architecture for it is because architecture is basically a like clean room reverse engineerable problem now. Like
Yeah.
you can basically take the specs from one program, hand it to an LLM, and be like, make me another program in this other language that does the same thing, and it will do it.
Yeah.
So it's not the mode anymore. The mode is the data that you have, and this collects particularly rich data, especially if people go through the feedback process, because it has like a deterministic graph representation of like the other
Right.
it has, and then it also has but the nuance like human like language. This is kind of crappy, or like please make this change, and that translation layer.
Right.
Super duper rich. It's much better than just a binary. It's good or bad.
Yeah, totally.
So that's the flywheel that I'm trying to build.
No, I really like it. I think that's a solid play.
If you want to see any of the projects that I've made so far, they're all in here. This trail one is the paper that I got it to write as like the proof. So I basically dog fooded the whole program.
Nice.
So if it couldn't write a paper based on the architecture of its own fucking software, then
Sure.
it wasn't good enough. So I basically had it go through and then fed it iterative refinements. So you don't have to have a human given the refinements. You can have an agent give the refinements. There's no interface for that on this system, but on my system, I can basically
Codex computer use. You know.
yeah, I feed the preview, so like the whole document to a model, and I'm like, tell me where this is good or bad, and then it will like spit out all the review for it, and then I'll take that and then I'll feed it back to the
Right.
translator agent, and will then go and make the edits to it, and I would iteratively do that until eventually it runs. It takes a long time, but the model eventually reviews things.
Wild.
And then this is the paper that I output. And the paper is pretty good. It's still here. It makes logical sense. It doesn't have any loose ends or any kind of
Nice.
and it also like holds it. It doesn't like any kind of frame. It's like pretty grounded. So yeah, once that was done, I was like, okay, this is definitely useful for stuff. Yeah, that was like put the other side where I would if you want to check out the paper. I also posted it in the paper.
Yay. Very good place to post it. Yes, if you've come across interesting papers and you are currently, if you have the Basement AGI Club role, then you can find the papers, please. But if you find them in various other places, or if you want that role, let me know and we'll figure it out. But
other thing is there's only one agent set up behind this, so if multiple people are using it, it does create a queue. So you may have to wait a little while to come back to it. Yeah, just be aware of that. Like, if 20 people use it all at once, it's going to be like it's not going to function very quickly or fast. But it's free to use and use it whenever it's open. So have fun with
Dom's
it.
turn. He's gonna have the queue for a little bit until he's got it all figured out. Beautiful. Cool, man. Well, thank you for sharing. I think this is an excellent thing, and I'm excited to see where it goes. How are you doing, Slono? What do you got for us today? Do you want to, are you in the demo kind of?
I'm good. I'm getting progressively more stones, so that's good too.
I did actually. I got the Nemo working, by the way.
Nemo working? Hell yes. Cool.
Yeah, it's real fast.
Sick. Sweet. Well, yeah, Slono, do you want
to? No, that's not. I'm gonna try to share my screen.
I believe in you. You can do it.
No, I can't. How the fuck? I never use my Mac, so I'm like a little bit lost.
Let's see.
Oh, now. What? And my cat's doing some weird shit. All right. You should be able to see.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah, and it has this like weird red cast. What was it? What is it called? Redshift. Goodbye, Redshift. It's better, right? What should I show?
Well, what do you go?
Uh, but
what is it that you were? Was there anything you were excited to show? With this, I know I handed
I
you
have
some
s-
credentials, but
I
yeah,
have so much exciting stuff, but
whatever you
maybe the
want to.
Discord bot is maybe the easiest to show what I've been building. Hey, stop it! Sorry, my cat's like trying to, I don't know, bury my
It's cuddle
food.
time. It's cuddle time before
Um,
cat time, obviously.
let me get. Oh my god, my computer is not doing good.
I believe.
It's indexing like 80,000
Right.
files
You
or
opened a
something like that.
JetBrains IDE, you fool. What have you done?
Nah, they're awesome.
They are awesome, but
They're awesome.
they do queue up.
Oh, see, we're already on the Discord bot. Is this big enough? The font?
If you want to zoom it in like 1 or 2 notches, that'd be perfect.
All right, I'll do that. So hold on. First, we're gonna open this directory. I'm gonna open the workspace, which is called Yikespot,
That's me.
and then I'm gonna zoom in 125. I think
Beautiful.
that's good.
Beautiful. Yes, perfect. Perfect.
All right, cool. The bot that I installed on your Discord is called the roast bot. Like I just generated it, like literally when you asked me.
Sure.
Um, it's a Discord bot that hates you. It's written in JavaScript, right? Like nothing too crazy here. It has a Discord module. It has a UI module, which we'll get back to. And you've got a /hate command. You've got a /roast command, which you know. There's a /compliment command, and then there's like I don't know what these are actually. Hater roast, hater mercy, hater apology. Oh, those are component answers. So that's the whole bot, right? It has this like pretty elegant Discord API, and if you, I guess I have to open Discord. Huh? You're gonna see all my DMs with like unsavory characters.
Absolutely.
Let me see. There we
Nefarious
are.
plots.
Yeah. So where should I fuck around? Like, is there a channel that I should
You can fuck around.
use?
You could probably fuck around in off topic if you wanted to.
All right. So if I do roast yikes, it will roast yikes, and then I can use /hate, I guess. Hate taking.
I was just doing that in the chat on the chat of the stage. So I have given it an apology.
What does it take
I
to
don't know
make
if I
it
can.
take you 100%?
Yeah. Do not ask what would make it. I hate you 84%. Roast me again. Slono, your aura has the latency of a potato on hotel Wi-Fi.
I love it.
What was the last command that we had? So it had /hate, /roast, /compliment, and then it has this like hater roast, which we just saw, right? So let me go back here. Compliment. All right, perfect. So this bot was like generated first try. I think I used like GPT-5 Nano or something. It's like 50 lines of code, right? And the way this works is that actually require Discord and require UI, they're not written in JavaScript, they're written in Go. So they're completely opaque to the LLM when it's writing JavaScript, right? When I tell it like, hey, write a bot in JavaScript, it will find the JavaScript API, and there's nothing behind it. There's like literally just, you can write a bot. So this looks like, if we were to write a bot, yikes, what bot do you want to write?
One where we can do collaborative coding projects live in Discord. We can make the bot write code. We can yell at the bot, and then code will pop out somewhere into a little sandbox, and maybe we can run it or something. That'd be super based, but that's probably a bit more than we can handle. Unless it's Manuel magic.
Keywords just to make sure that it finds the docs reasonably quickly. This is minimax to 7 on low thinking, so we'll see what it does.
And this is Pi, the agent you're running?
Yeah.
Nice. Where are you getting the minimax inference? Out of curiosity.
Come again?
Where are you getting the Minimax inference? Do you have like a fireworks
From
thing?
Minimax.
Oh, from Minimax. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Fireworks was like the Kimi plan. I guess I should look back at that one. That one was awesome. Minimax, I think I will cancel it. It's nice, but also it's just like I have to do shit every time.
I might try Featherless. Honestly, I might try Eugene's thing that's supposed to be for role playing.
Kimi right now, and I have to try Quen. Of all of three, I would keep GLM. Kimi is nice, but also like prone to getting stuck. GLM I could just like let run and it does what I want. Alright, so I wrote like collab code index. I have like no idea what it does. I'm not sure if it used the UI libraries, like use the UI DSL when possible, just to steer it a little bit. And if we, so one way I can explain this, I'm not sure if it was like really clear how this whole works.
For me, it was not.
I have these like different levels of language, or like the way LLMs work. Oh man, I can't like zoom centered. And let me find my pen. There's my pen. To go all theoretical, because I'm thinking that way. The way I think of it is like you've got this like thinking in language space for the model, right? Where you tell it like, hey, compute 23 times 84, and then it will just like yap, and then it will give you the answer. That's kind of for like reasoning in language space, where everything that it outputs is like done in inference, right? And then the second level, sorry, that is like when you start doing tool calls, right? Like part of your output now comes out of deterministic things and like files on your hard drive, and like the output of tools, like that kind of stuff, to me is like a second level of how you can work with LLMs. And like this is why so many things work well, right? Like you remove the tool calls and you're kind of left with the dice. You add tool calls and suddenly these things become like reliable enough to do real work. And then the third level that I think of is like, oh, you can write code, right? So if you have the LLM and you let it like write code, and then you use the output to either post-process with an LLM again when you have like an agent thing, or like calls tools, like this is how we program, and it works like extremely well. When you tell the LLM, hey, I want to get today's weather, like use tools, it will start writing a shell script and like starting hitting APIs, all that stuff. And then what I like thinking about is that there's a fourth level, which is when you ask the LLM to invent the language in which it's going to write code. So this is where it gets weird. I know, yikes, you know that part. But maybe that's something I can show for the other people, is when you ask the LLM invent like a YAML DSL, I come back to those two keywords to, I don't know, grow mushrooms. Concise, no fucking code. I fucking hate Anthropic models. Or like not the models per se, the harnesses around it. So you can kind of like ask the LLM to generate like little languages. And I chose to put the language in YAML just because it's easy to parse and easy to read. But this is a little programming language, right? I can kind of like express workflows to grow mushrooms. Apparently, I don't know shit about mushrooms. And when you ask it to invent this language, you have like a pretty tight control where you're like, hey, do I want alerts or not? You can kind of like delete them from the language, because if you can't express the concept of an alert, then you can't, right? And so you basically restrict the capability of the model to express itself so that you have the control over it, but you leave it the freedom of doing all these like linguistic relationships, because the words stay the same, right? Like you could almost read this as English. It's like the colonization environment has a temperature of 24 degrees. Like it's pretty much English, except the verbs are like colons or something. So when you ask the LLM to invent this language, and you can say like, hey, write like 3 mushroom growing setups, concise. So you can ask it
you can ask it to actually express itself. Let me do this a little bit more specifically. One edible, one not edible, one lethal. I hope I'm not going to get flagged.
Can we do some bio trigger some bio weapon engineering stuff here? Yeah. Let's see.
So anyway, right, like now that it only can express itself in like mushroom growing plants, I don't even need to prompt it because it will not speak otherwise, right? Like I just need to tell it like, hey, I want an edible mushroom, and it will say like, okay, well, my language is XYZ, so that's the only thing I can answer. Then same here, but you get all the flexibility of like real language still because it can just like put notes in there or something, right? But once you have this, then you can just say like, hey, make a mock React app, DSL editor on the left, use JSON, not YAML, just because it doesn't load the YAML library, add presets, and then UI on the right. So now I can just create an IDE basically for my language, including the application that I want. So also, this is fully commodified, right? Like first it's like make a mock React app, that's like generic. And then that part is only mushrooms. And then that part is like basically 4 words generic, and then the rest is just like grow mushrooms. So it's like a very concise way of prompting yourself to clearly, oh shit, there's my agent is testing stuff in the background. I've got like a printer and I'm like testing like a little layout.
I was gonna say I heard something. Was it a phone or a printer? Or you got tickets flying out? Oh, that's fucking sick.
Or it's running Chromium in the background and like printing stuff to it. And by virtue of you as a developer or whatever as a user, you can control the language, right? You can say like, oh yeah, I want this. So you have like a pretty tight control over the technical implementation, which means that now there's just going to be an app with alerts to grow mushrooms with probably 3 presets, which are the 3 that I put in there. So that's kind of like this 4th level that I have, where you like kind of invent a language that's very specific to a domain, and then you can do all kinds of things with. You can do like static analysis and whatever. And if you think about it, JavaScript is just a language that we invented to describe computation. Right, so once you need to have like loops and stuff like that, then JavaScript makes sense instead of doing some weird YAML constructs. So that's what the bot is. The bot is legit. The way I built the bot is like, I have the idea to build a Discord bot. So I'm like, it's my little idea here, where I say like Discord bot. And then instead of saying make a YAML DSL, I just say like, hey, make a elegant JavaScript API is what I call it. Where I say like, oh, I want to build a bot, create like the perfect API to build a bot. And then I just say build the JS sandbox. And so it's exactly the same concept. And then now if I have like an idea for a bot, I just need to take this, the API, right? And then because it cannot express anything, it's like JavaScript, but it only has access. It doesn't have access to the file system. It doesn't have access to any of the libraries that are otherwise there. The only thing it can do is like Discord. So then you put in the sandbox and then magic comes out. So let's see if that's actually true. Because we were building a bot for collaborative coding. Where is it? All right. I'm not sure what came out, but it's probably not great. And it probably wrote it. Where did it write it? It's under Yikes Discord bot examples, Discord bot collab code. Okay. Examples, Discord bots, collab code. We have an index.js that defined a bot called collab code. Let's just run it.
Let's run it, baby. Hell yeah.
So I don't remember. I'm gonna comment this out. It's so I built this like 3 days ago. I don't even know how to use it, really.
I know it's like go run bot, and then I think there's like a dash script, bot script, yeah. So the bot script now is examples, Discord bot, collab code, index.js. Alright, it crashed, which clearly was going to be the thing. What is this error? String type regex? So I haven't really tested it against Discord, so there's possibilities that I just what the fuck explain that they're just like values in the Discord protocol that I don't fulfill correctly. So we'll see. But if you look at the bot here, there's like really not like it's an elegant API, right? Like you configure your bot, you give it a couple of parameters, you react to like different events, and then you can react to like command. I suppose that it's probably the.
Oh, do we have those commands? Should I? Well, no, it crashed. Yeah.
I just think that it was the white space, so I'll update the docs for that later. So now the bot has started, right? And then I mean, let's see what it does. It does /collab code submit or update code in a session collab join an active collaboration session collab start, right?
Yeah, I think so. I would think.
All right, collab start, and then it takes language JS. Wait, how do you fill that?
Language. Yeah, the language and
JavaScript. Then thread.
Mm-hmm.
Create a thread.
True. Yeah.
Okay. And then title. Yo. Command failed. Unable to open database. So I can enable a database module, but you have to enable it explicitly, and it will just like take a SQLite.
So Brad was asking, does it learn the real API from the sandbox? I'm not sure exactly.
So the API was invented by the LLM, right? So that's the only one it knows. There's like a thing that's called JS API reference.md somewhere. That's how it found it. Does that answer your question?
What do you think, Brad? Does that answer your question? It sounds like you had like some previous Discord API kind of docs stashed somewhere, and then that's how that's working.
Let me find you the docs. So the docs are actually I should try something new. I just built something yesterday, I think. So I'm not sure if this will works. Glaze help serve from command. Let me build the bot. Go build and Discord bot. I built so much stuff right now. It's like it's crazy. Glaze help serve from command and Discord bot. I think it's from Glaze command. With a D, maybe. Unknown flag from glazed command. Wait, what? Alright, whatever. Another day. Just so where's my bot? Here. Alright, well, we're gonna look at it by hand.
Sounds
in the
good.
Docs, there's a topic, and then there's Discord.js bot API reference. So that's the context that the model gets. I've never looked at it, so it's not really optimized probably. This is the UI language, like the UI API. You can do like message, embed, card, and you can just chain them, I think. So it's just like an API spec for the JavaScript API of the bot. Since obviously it's not in training corpus, since it like just invented it. But because it invented it, it's like usually pretty structured, and it like follows the docs, right? Let me see how you do the database, and I'm not sure if using minimax low here is the best idea that I ever had. Let me abort this shit. Model GPT-5.5. How can I run a bot with a database. Anybody following me? Is this like a little bit too opaque?
It's
I know.
somewhat opaque, or like I have previous Manuel contacts, so I know a little bit about, it's tough to track, but at least for me, it like I can see that there's a sandbox. I'm familiar with kind of like the YAML DSL sort of pattern, and I
Yeah, so
know,
here I
yeah.
just, right, like I just say, hey, I want to build a bot, like what would be the perfect API for it?
Mm-hmm.
And then usually the model comes up with something pretty good because like a perfect API is like very structured, very repetitive, very consistent,
Mm-hmm.
and like following the training corpus or like whatever you give it in the context window. So just saying Discord API for a bot, it will just create something that's like pretty on point, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because the LLM invented this API, it's probably a pretty good API for the model anyway. And it's also because there's this sandbox, the model is like not tempted to like import Node.js stuff or whatever in there because it can't, it will fail immediately.
Hmm.
So you avoid adding all this, like the bot here it doesn't know anything about the guild ID, it doesn't right, it doesn't know anything about the bot token. All of that complexity is handled on the Go side, so that the bot itself really is just like the purest JavaScript that you can imagine, right?
Okay, so there's like a Go runtime. There's a Go container type thing that's doing a lot of external handling, and the goal is to be able to have the LLM write kind of like sloppy dependency-less JS and have it just work kind of thing.
So the way it works, I use this library called Goja, which is like a JavaScript interpreter in Go.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start, you create a JavaScript runtime that's called like a runtime, and then on the runtime you can just say like run string or like define function,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then what I do before I start, yeah, sorry, I should have explained what that is. When I start the Go binary, it will create a JavaScript runtime, right? And then on the JavaScript runtime, it will create a module that's called Discord, and then it will say like, hey, when the JavaScript calls discord.defineBot, then call the function defineBot. So it doesn't do very much, but it has like all this complexity of like, what if someone canceled? Like, what if there's an error? What if it's a string and not an integer? Like all that stuff is handled outside of the JavaScript. Right, like when you call describe on the bot, it will call Discord bot describe. Like the code is so repetitive because it's like when you call this function, and this function returns nil, then throw an error. Like it's literally the same stuff over and over and over and over and over again. But once you have that, then suddenly the bots become really simple, which kind of breaks my brain a little bit. It's like because you have the complexity of running a bot, when you call command and then start db path. So we're going to start that. For some reason, it didn't do it. db path
I have
temp
Brad
test
asking, how
db.
did you design bot?
The original one.
Presumably, yes. I am not entirely sure. Let's see. Yes, the original one. Yeah.
I just said like, hey, invent an API to build this Discord bots, and then build the API. I do have a bunch of example stuff, right? Like there's all this flag stuff and such that I've been just like carrying around for quite a while. But that's literally how I did it, and I should have tested this database stuff before.
I was gonna say
because I'm going to waste my time on it.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say if you need us to buy you some time, we could. Kev, you could give us a quick tour, a lightning tour of what you got running on your Sparky. If you need a couple of minutes to do a kind of final.
No, I'll just I'll just finish quickly. I'm just going to like start a new session. I'm going to go back to, hey, why don't we keep GPT 5.5? Like I don't need to play on hard mode. But what I'm trying to achieve is like having models like no, not high. Having models like like a Cerebras model on 8 billion, it's totally capable of writing that kind of
Totally.
JavaScript, and then you get like your full bot in like half a second, which is kind of crazy.
It sounds kind of wild.
All right, so create a examples Discord bot that I don't know makes soup. No database, but use the UI DSL. All right, so hopefully this will not use the database.
Okay.
I've been refactoring this stuff and I probably lost a DB flag. And here we'll see, because this one's a little bit slower, it looked at the Pokebot, which is like an example thing. It looks at the UI showcase bot. So it already knows two bots. It looks at the third one, which is a pretty big bot, and then it will probably be able to run this. It found a tutorial for the UI DSL, and now it's probably just writing it. Oh, it's reading the Go code. See, that's what Minimax doesn't do that. Just write it, bro. I guess GPT still likes exploring on Medium. I think one big thing about the small models, like the Chinese models, because you can see the full thinking trace, you can actually do much better prompt engineering. I think that's going to be one of the downfall of the big models. All right, come on.
I believe.
Right, there we go. So I don't know. It's going to make something corny, right?
Right.
But you can see it like knows how to require Discord, it knows how to require UI, and then it has like UI flow. Oh, that's clever. And then it just uses the standard API because it's like so easy. You define a bot, you configure it, then you've got certain events from the Discord API, and then you've got certain commands, and then you can react on like components being clicked. So there's not like 8 billion parameter models are like totally fine to write this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think this is or like I'm glad that you are exploring this because I'm at the point where I got to start cutting my inference spend until I get a job at least. So I'm gonna need to be I'm gonna need to start looking for ways or like places that I can deploy like a GLM or like a DSV4.
Is like GPT-5 level-ish, but it's the only model where I burn through my plans so quickly. But that one's massive. It's like amazing that we have open weights that's that far. All right, let's start the soup bot and then I'll be ready.
Sounds
so the soup
good.
bot has started, and then what were the commands for the soup bot? You guys remember?
And for the soup bot, I'm not sure. I barely saw those.
Slash
soup.
Soup menu. Oh, wait, we only have two. So if I go to off topic and then I do soup menu. Alright, it's like, oh, there's like.
I already got 3 on stage, baby. Let go. Let go.
So there's soup menu and then there's slash soup. Oh, come on. So I don't know what slash soup's gonna do. UI flow. I knew that UI flow was like.
Slash soup failed. Womp.
Yeah, it's I've been playing around like I did two sessions on this, so I barely gave it any attention. By 2 sessions, I mean like 2 prompts.
Well, yeah, I mean that there is like a we got true. Just gonna turn the arena into the soup gang. It's gonna happen.
We rewrote the soup bot. Let me restart it. Let's see if that works, and if not, then too bad. You'll have to live with the idea. All right, slash soup.
Soup.
Nice.
Soup's happening, baby.
And you can choose your soup, right? It's like kind of crazy that you can do this in like 100 lines of code, and like it honestly breaks my brain because it's like, oh, but the less like now I have like a full bot framework but the code is like so minimal that there's like nothing in here that's like, I mean, maybe CTX, but that's just I need an object to put my stuff.
Well, the fact
like
that
the
all the
cleanest
embeds
code
work
possible.
and everything, yeah, no, it's super clean.
And like there's more cool stuff to it. It's like fully functional except for the database, so you can like load the bot without Discord and just test it. You know, while the agent is coding it, you can start just like testing the full bot in memory without needing unit tests. And because it's just like purely functional. Anyway, there's like a lot of funny stuff there. Yeah, so the soup menu has gone. Now burgers. Just add burgers. And then I'll wrap it up.
Beautiful.
Actually, since let me take what's a really bad model? GLM45 Air X. I don't know any of the. That sounds cool.
Sure.
Add burgers. Let's see what a flash does. Oh, it's pre-filling. Oh shit. It's not that flash, huh?
We gotta. I guess not. I guess not.
GLM sometimes.
They probably don't keep those Yeah, you probably got ancient GPUs that are getting their caches kicked.
Thinking minimal.
There we go.
Right. Can you do this?
Minimal thinking, Kimmy, I believe. Well, yes.
This is really like the demo effect, huh?
Demo is.
All right, no, there we go. I guess the pre-fill is pretty long.
Okay.
Add burger menu, add burger. So that's like small model brain, right? Like they'll just copy whatever's there. I'm sure it's going to be exactly the same names. You're going to have like 4 burgers. Just copy paste of the code. Pretty sure. Want to bet?
Okay, soups.
Now 4 burgers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to stop. Yeah, I knew it. All right, it's going to copy paste the burgers, whatever. Not as spectacular as I wanted to show it, but yeah, that's it. That's my Discord bot. And I've built, like, after this concept of just adding JavaScript on top of an API, I've got so many now. It's crazy. How do I wrap this up? Oh, over here.
Beautiful. Sweet. Well, yeah, we are right on the hour, so we could call it there. Kev, do you wanna give us a little lightning tour through your whatever you've got, or you want?
Yeah, we could just. Yeah, I just did a quick thing. Claude one shotted the Nemo UI here. Let me share my screen.
You guys can make burgers for each other in the channel in like 2 minutes.
Burger making.
Oh no, it created a soup kitchen. That's amazing.
Hey, I have a soup kitchen in here too, or it's a GPU soup kitchen. But
it added modals. That's crazy. I wouldn't have expected